Hey everyone, Jason Owens here for Campaign Sauce. Hope you're doing extremely well today. It has been a long time since I did a live stream and figured since this past weekend ended up doing a bit of live streaming for an event, kind of got the juices flowing again, and I decided I want to go ahead and give another one a try here today. So one of the most popular topics that people have asked me about is, Jason, is it really possible to use a Facebook ad or Facebook ads, some type of online campaign, to sell tickets for my live event? So I went ahead and put up this case study from the archives, okay? So the data you're seeing here, the actual event itself happened about a year ago, but I went ahead and pulled up this data here because, again, it's just a great example of work that, frankly, it works, all right? It's just proof, okay? And I'm gonna show you the results from inside Eventbrite, then we're gonna go into the campaign manager there over in Meta or in Facebook, and we'll also take a look at a little bit of the data in there. All right, so let's go. Let's see here if the gods are with me. I'm gonna go ahead and change over to this screen. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and make this guy just a little bit bigger. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive you through some of the data that we were able to see. So inside of Eventbrite, you'll see that I went to reports, and then from reports I went over to the conversion analysis, and there's just a lot of really good stuff happening here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this other windows out of the way. There we go. All right, so inside this world here of Eventbrite, you can see that we have traffic, okay? And the black line, of course, here is traffic. You can definitely tell before the campaigns were on. You can definitely tell when the campaign was turned off, okay? I think we may even have had, for this particular client, I think they had maybe an email list that we ended up sending to that day. So anyways, you get the idea here. What I want you to pay really close attention to here on the direct traffic, okay? So notice here, these are all of the Eventbrite stats. We did not use any of the advertising tools inside of Eventbrite, okay? So for better or worse, we didn't do that. We're just relying on the Facebook ads. We did not send any emails through Eventbrite. Eventbrite as a platform ended up drawing some traffic to us, okay? So take a look at the total percentage of all traffic that Eventbrite brought to us. A whopping 62 visitors, or 3%, okay? That is really low, right? So the moral of the story here is if you want to sell, for this particular client, if you wanted to sell on Eventbrite, you better be bringing your own traffic with you, okay? So that gives you an idea of just traffic overall, right? So let's go to orders sold, okay? So these are the actual purchases that happen. Now remember, an order can be for one ticket, an order can be for 10 tickets, right? There's no way of knowing until you go into, right, the exact, the data there. But you can see in ballpark, right? So we had 39 orders sold for roughly 83 tickets. So ballpark, you're looking at 2 tickets being sold for every order. That checks out, right? That passes the test of common sense. So you can see here all of the different orders that came in, right? I believe, again, this may have been that day that the email went out. So we're not only running ads, but we also have the big email that went out, right? So again, let's go over here and check out the orders sold by channel. So again, we're not using the advertising tools, not using the emails. Eventbrite, in the total month that we were running campaigns here, Eventbrite sold for us 1 order, okay? And I think that may have been for 2 tickets. Direct traffic, right? So the traffic that we brought in, mainly through Facebook ads and our own email campaign, 38 orders, okay? A really big deal, okay? So does it work? Yeah, it absolutely works. And again, really quickly here, just on tickets sold, right? So you get the idea. So yeah, Eventbrite themselves, they brought in a whopping 2 tickets compared to our 81 that we brought, okay? So all right, so that just gives you an idea. And for those of you who are really big on the conversion rates, right, you can see 1.67, okay? Overall, not a terrible conversion rate. Not knocking it out of the park, but again, it's something that's greater than 1. So yeah, I mean, overall, this event ended up being profitable, and the establishment that we were working with was really happy with it. Now this is basically, it was a dinner, okay? So you're gonna wonder, well, what was it, okay? Well, it's a special dinner. They had a special chef come in, special menu. I think they even had a whiskey tasting that was happening, so you could actually upsell if you also wanted the whiskey tasting. They had an extra layer of ticketing that you could buy there, again, more of an upsell. So yeah, anyway, it was a really, I think it was kind of a one-time thing. I don't know that it happens in town that much. So yeah, that's the type of event. And again, it was at a local kind of an Irish pub. And yeah, overall it was good. So, all right, so let's dive into the Facebook ad account. So again, this data is right at a little bit more than a year old. I'm recording this the day after Mother's Day, okay? And we basically did this exact same scenario for a different set of clients. We ran the exact same scenario here as far as strategy, ads, and whatnot, and we had way more success even with Mother's Day. Well, again, everything in this world, everything in marketing goes back to how powerful is your product. Okay, if you have a great product, it just makes it a lot easier to advertise. And an event like Mother's Day, it just naturally has charisma, okay? This particular event that we did at this Irish pub, okay, I mean, it's neat. Yeah, it was good. It's something that was kind of novel. We hadn't had that here in this town, I think maybe ever. So yeah, but it was in January, right? So it's after the holidays, right? People kind of sort of have that holiday hangover right there. So again, is that event, does it have a lot of charisma to it? Well, yeah, to a point that does, but maybe not as much as Mother's Day. But anyway, so let's dive in. So we had 3 different campaigns that we ran, and I intentionally slid this over so you don't see the full campaign name, because that kind of gives away a bit of the client name there as well. Yeah, so anyway, well, I'll tell you what the heck. I'll just go ahead and slide this guy out just a bit. Yeah, so anyways, it was called Burns Night. That's really the name of the event that we ran. And it was Burns Night. I'll let you go dig into the background of Robert Burns there. But anyways, let's go into the results, right? So what did we have? Well, we had 9 purchases on this most recent campaign, 10 purchases before, 4 purchases. Let me tell you a little bit about the campaigns. We were experimenting with different types of creatives, right? So different images. Do we use video? Does video work for us? Does it not? Do the still images work for us? Do they not? Does carousel work or doesn't it? Right, so we were doing a bit of experimenting here throughout the first couple weeks. So you can see here, these purchases came in. So again, now 23 purchases on a total of 39 orders sold. So was Facebook doing a lot of the heavy lifting, 23 out of 39? Yeah, you betcha, right? So you can tell right away that this campaign was really doing the business here. Anyway, you can see the purchase conversion value there. You can see what it costs per purchase. I know that there are some more, the heavy ROAS, right? For those of you who think more in terms of ROAS, right? So we had almost a 9.0 ROAS on 8.98. Pretty robust. We were really happy with that. Those of you who are more looking for the data, the CTR link, right? So how many times do people actually leave the ad and go over to Eventbrite? Running at a strong 1.85 there, so getting close to 2. Let's see, cost per thousand, you guys are going to want to know. So about $7.50, right? So pretty close to that. So anyway, it's just ended up being just a really good campaign that we ended up running, and just absolutely frankly had a blast with it. I mean, there was a lot going on, a few moving pieces. One that I want to tell you about right here. This is a pretty big deal. So when you are inside of Eventbrite for your event, and I won't belabor this by going through all the different clicks, go ahead and look up how you take your Facebook tracking code, okay? So your Facebook pixel or your Facebook data set, whatever you want to call it, make sure that that code is plugged into Eventbrite, okay? That's what really helps a lot of this magic happen here, right? So somebody leaves your website and of course they go into Eventbrite. Do you have the code on there or not? They make a purchase, you do have the code on there, and now Facebook can start optimizing and say, oh, okay, I see these 3 or 4 people are responding to the ad. Now I'm going to go get more people who look like them, okay? So, and again, there are plenty of tutorials out there, and if you are one of the tried and true data geeks and you really absolutely want to have the best possible look at your data, you're going to want to go grab your Google Analytics code and also place on. And again, there are plenty of tutorials about how to do that. So Anyway, that's what I have for now. If you guys have questions, I would love to see these questions down in the comments wherever you find this video. I know a lot of people don't jump on the live streams right away, but yeah, most of you are probably going to see this after the live stream's already over. So throw your comments and questions down in the comment and questions area, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.